Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sloane called Eric at the hospital from her apartment. I won't be home for a while. I got to stop by and see my cousin Theresa, stated Eric. If there was any news, Sloane inquired. Eric informed Sloane that Tate was being held by the police. How's Holly doing? Inquired Sloane. During his visit, Eric informed Sloane about Holly's seizure. In front of Alex in their apartment, Theresa paced. Theresa whispered, I can't believe they are going to try Tate as an adult. Recognizing that the scenario was absurd, Alex held Theresa until she calmed down. Theresa responded that Shane was on an undercover assignment and could not be reached, even though Alex had suggested that she give her father a call. What about your brother? Wasn't he in town recently? Replied Alex. Andrew? He's not going to pull any strings for me. He probably thinks that Tate's a big screw-up like me, replied Theresa. Theresa was warned by Alex not to talk about herself in such a way. Theresa took her eyes off Alex. You don't know about all the stuff I've done in the past and recently, replied Theresa. Alex inquired, what kinds of things have you done recently? Theresa considered her discussion with Constantine over altering Victor's letter to designate Alex as the heir. Theresa shrugged. Alex was about to push when Eric banged on the front door. So, what? Are you here to tell me what a bad parent I am? Questioned Theresa. Theresa told Eric that she had already stated to herself whatever he wanted to say. Stop being so hard on yourself. The reason why I stopped by is because I want to give you this, stated Eric. Eric gave Theresa a hug. Theresa inquired about Nicole and Holly. Eric reaffirmed, Holly's condition hasn't changed. Eric pointed out that their only option was to continue to pray for Holly. Theresa asked, can you keep Tate in your prayers too? Naturally, Eric replied. Eric declared his undying love for Tate and Holly. Eric remarked, I could never judge either of them. Theresa questioned Eric about his judgment of her. 8 years ago, I made a choice. I drove drunk. I killed Holly's father. Right now, you, Tate, and Holly, you all need compassion. Nobody knows that better than I do. Eric continued. After serving his sentence in prison for his crime, Eric said he had discovered a lot about his guilt and remorse. But while I was there, I remembered that I have to forgive myself, stated Eric. Theresa remarked, I'm so happy you were able to accomplish that. However, Theresa countered that Tate's case was unique because he was innocent. Theresa said, and Holly chose to take those drugs herself. I understand that, and no matter how it went down, we're all hurting here, Eric replied. Eric assured Theresa he was there to help. Theresa requested Eric to argue Tate's case to Nicole when he asked her what she needed. Maybe she'll go to EJ and get him to back off a little bit and listen to reason, suggested Theresa. Though he said he wanted to hold off to see whether Holly woke up, Eric consented. I know it can be hard to find faith in the midst of all this chaos, but there is something I brought for you aside from a hug, said Eric. Theresa was given Caroline's rosary by Eric after he took it out. Theresa remarked, that really means a lot. Thank you, while crying. Alex made Theresa a lunch after Eric departed. When Alex came back, he was shocked to see Theresa kneeling in prayer on the couch. I didn't think you were into all the religious stuff, Alex replied. I might not be the epitome of a good Catholic, but it is still my faith, remarked Theresa. Theresa looked attractive while praying, Alex said to her. Theresa retreated as Alex moved in closer to plant a kiss. Theresa questioned, what the hell are you doing? It was a bad time, Alex said. Alex stated he was sorry and that he had wanted to make her feel better. Totally out of place. Theresa complained. Alex agreed. And just so you know, I am fully aware that for most of our relationship, it has been primarily focused on the physical. But I need you to know that that is not what I'm all about. I just want to be there for you emotionally too, Alex continued. Theresa apologized for snapping at Alex and told him how much his comments meant to her. Theresa nestled up to Alex as he wrapped an arm around her. "I'm so happy we got to meet," Alex remarked. "Me too," Theresa said. Melinda questioned what was wrong when she showed up at Sloane's place for the meeting. Sloane said that her guilt was killing her and informed Melinda, "There is now a real possibility that Nicole may lose her surviving child to a drug overdose, which means she will have lost 2 children in a matter of weeks, being childless." Melinda asked, "What are you suggesting?" Sloane declared, "We have to give the baby back." Melinda let out a gasp. "Get real. You are a lawyer? Surely you realize if we do that now, we will be on the hook for a very serious crime," Melinda said. Sloane shrugged. Melinda reminded Sloane that EJ was going to hurl the book at them because he was the DA. "We would be risking everything by exposing ourselves," Melinda responded. Melinda added that EJ would treat her and Sloane even worse than he had treated Tate. "We will be spending the rest of our days in prison." "Is that what you want?" Melinda screamed. Melinda questioned Sloane about her unusually high level of stress. Sloane acknowledged that she was overwhelmed by her job, her family, her finances, and her guilt. Melinda, perplexed, inquired about the costs. Sloane admitted, "I'm being blackmailed by Leo Stark." Melinda came to the realization that before being taken to Supermax jail, Dimitri had told Leo the entire tale. Leo had come to the realization that Sloane was the reason behind the prison transfer, Sloane observed. Sloane declared, "Leo is out for revenge." Melinda was concerned and inquired about Sloane's involvement in the plan from Leo. Sloane reassured Melinda, "Leo is unaware of your involvement at all." Sloane lamented that Leo had been eroding her completely. "Little sleeve flirt," Melinda complained. Sloane admitted to Melinda that she had made Leo stick to a spending plan, but she was concerned about what else Leo would demand. Melinda was upset and questioned why Sloane had not informed her about Leo sooner. Sloane clarified that Nicole had taken her son hostage prior to Leo's threats. She was surprised and replied, "I thought it was all an innocent mix-up, Belinda." Sloane confirmed that Nicole had purposely taken the infant, and she thought that Nicole would not have returned Jude if EJ had not persuaded Nicole to give him back to the cops. "And then Eric talked me into covering up for Nicole," Sloane recalled. Melinda shouted, "And why the hell would you do that?" Sloane shrugged, blaming her guilt. "But I did it for Eric. I do wish that I would have just violated my conscience and just gone with my gut. Because I can't stand seeing that woman out and knowing that I helped her," Sloane continued. Melinda was perplexed and questioned, "Then why the hell are you feeling sorry for her?" She pointed out that Sloane was unrelated to Holly's overdose and advised her to keep quiet. Sloane remarked, "I appreciate you talking me down from the edge." "No offense, Sloane, but you still look like you're on the ledge," Melinda replied. Melinda questioned whether Sloane would maintain the secrecy. Eric went back to his house, asking, "What's going on?" Eric claiming to be lying. Sloane claimed that Melinda was there to see her godson. Eric was taken aback, but he acknowledged that they owed Melinda gratitude for finding their kid. When Melinda inquired about the christening, Sloane said he would follow up with her. Melinda nodded and instructed Sloane to reflect on their talk regarding baby-proofing the house. Melinda went out, and Sloane grinned sympathetically. Eric said, "Why do you seem upset?" to Sloane. Sloane confided in Eric that she felt overburdened by everything in her life, including the baby and her job. Eric volunteered to make dinner so Sloane could unwind. While in the Kyriakis mansion, Konstantin perused old pictures. Konstantin questioned, "Could this be the man?" "No, he was supposed to be dead." Konstantin shook his head, indicating that he still needed to do more research. Brady sniffed as he entered the penthouse through the front door. Marlena inquired of Brady the circumstances. Brady shook his head and added that Tate's family was not allowed to visit him until the morning by the police. "I am aware of his fear," Brady remarked. Brady, irate, referred to himself as the worst father on the planet. Marlena shot back, saying, "You are not a bad father." Brady bemoaned having made Tate return to Salem against his will. Did I have his best interest at heart or mine? My God. And with everything going on with my son, I still have lost custody of my daughter, as well, Brady stated. Brady was reminded by Marlena that Tate had desired to remain in Salem. We can't always make our children do what we would like them to do. But when they suffer, we suffer. But we have to let them make a choice. And that done, if it's a bad choice, then there are consequences. And that's exactly how they learn, Marlena said. Brady congratulated Marlena on her help. Kristen knocked on the front door as Marlena invited Brady to join her and John for supper at the pub. Kristen yelled, "Where have you been?" Brady responded, "Don't start. It's been a long night." In a fit of rage, Kristen questioned Brady about whether he had forgotten that he was meant to see his daughter. Brady sighed and acknowledged that he had forgotten. Brady had been bugging Kristen for weeks to see Rachel. She reminded him. Kristen yelled, "And then, when I agree, you stand up your own daughter." Brady inquired about an explanation. "Please explain. I would love to know why you left your daughter in tears. You should have seen her little face," Kristen said. Kristen insisted on finding out Brady's whereabouts. "There's a lot going on with the family right now. Please listen to Brady," Marlena responded. Brady promised to meet Marlena at the bar. Marlena remarked, "Please tell Rachel that her grandparents miss her." Reluctantly, Marlena departed. "You know that I wouldn't miss a moment with my daughter unless I had a really good reason, right?" "Tate's in jail," Brady replied. Kristen, shocked, inquired as to Tate's actions. "He didn't do anything, that's the whole point. He went to a New Year's Eve party with Holly Jonas, and Holly had some drugs on her. Much to his surprise," Brady explained. Brady clarified that Holly was on life support after overdosing. Kristen said, "I'm sorry," in a whisper. "To make matters worse, your brother E.J., he's on the warpath. He thinks it's all Tate's fault. He thinks that the drugs were Tate's, that he convinced Holly to take the drugs, and the only reason that she is clinging to life right now is because of my son," Brady said. Brady told Kristen that E.J. had persuaded the magistrate to remove Tate's bail and order an adult trial for him. "I had no idea this was happening. Rachel and I have been out of town," Kristen stated. Brady nodded and said he wasn't sure what to tell Rachel. "I get to tell Rachel that I stood her up. Sorry, I forgot that I was going to see you. And your brother's in jail." "Happy New Year, honey," said Brady. In order to avoid Brady having to have that talk, Kristen promised to tell Rachel. Brady arched an eyebrow in suspicion. "You're being kind to me right now. I'd like to know what the catch is," Brady replied. Brady joked that he was talking to a fake Kristen, to which she replied, "I don't wish incarceration on my worst enemy, let alone my daughter's brother who she adores." Kristen stated that she did not want to further the already dire circumstances. Brady thanked Kristen. With a shaky voice, Brady added, "I feel really horrible about letting Rachel down today. I've been waiting to see her, and I blew it, right? These were extreme circumstances. It's clearly unexpected," Kristen stated. Brady requested an opportunity to make amends with Rachel. There was a lull before Kristen told Brady that Rachel had been experiencing bad dreams. "She woke up the other night, having dreamt that you were dead," remarked Kristen. It was evident to Kristen that Rachel missed her father. "I also miss her," Brady remarked. Brady was offered access to Rachel by Kristen. "But if you mess it up again, Brady, I swear to you, you will have to pay," Kristen replied. Brady grinned. "There she is," Brady remarked ominously. Kristen joked that she felt cheated out of an evening spent ranting at Brady and expressed astonishment at her willingness to give Brady another try. Kristen committed to getting in touch with Brady and arranging for Rachel to meet. The holidays were pretty rough. It's one thing just to talk to her, but to not see her, it's hard. "I heard she had a really good Christmas, though, with the exception of missing her dad," said Brady. Kristen laughed and acknowledged that she had completely spoiled Rachel. Recounting how Rachel had danced around the room, Kristen made a vow to email Brady the footage. "I'd like to see it. I don't want to just see video, though, of my daughter. I want to see her. I need to see her. I want to see her face." I want to see her smile. I want to hear her laugh. It's just not the same. I feel like I've let her down so much. And now I've let my boy down. I'm letting my kids down over and over and over again. I won't do it anymore, Brady stated. Kristen clasped Brady's hand as tears sparkled in his eyes. I know. But Rachel and Tate, they love you. That's not going to change. And you will get through this. You'll get through this because you always do. And you'll be there for them, because that's just who you are, Kristen replied. Kristen gave Brady a gentle pat on the face before giving him a hug. John warned Steve about Tate's predicament in the Brady pub. Steve concurred, saying, "That kid doesn't deserve it. E.J. DiMera has just gone off the deep end there. It's a total abuse of power for any district attorney to try to pull this kind of crap," John said. John was advised by Steve to keep in mind that the only thing he could do for Brady was to show him support. John nodded and expressed his hope that Holly would recover and be able to correct the misinformation. Konstantin pulled up a text from Maggie outside the Brady pub, confirming her presence in the hospital to see how Holly was doing. Konstantin muttered, "I should drop by and bring her some flowers." Glancing over, Konstantin noticed Steve and John beside the pub's window. Konstantin smirked and hobbled inside. Steve mumbled, "What the hell?" upon seeing Konstantin. According to Konstantin, and we meet again. Why was Konstantin still in Salem? Steve wondered. "Gentlemen, you blew it," declared Konstantin. "You can't possibly be this stupid. Now go on now, turn around and get the hell out of here. We'll be right behind you to give you an escort to the airport," Steve replied. Konstantin would not go out of town. "The only way I will be gone from Salem is if you two gentlemen kidnap me again or murder me. I wouldn't put it past you," remarked Konstantin. Konstantin maintained that he was not a killer, in contrast to John and Steve. Should Konstantin refuse to comply and depart from the town, John threatened to exile him to a desolate island. Clean and simple. No way out. No communication. Steve continued. Then Konstantin laughed. Konstantin remarked, "I could start a new life. Just as you have, Mr. Black." The clean air, according to Konstantin, can bring back memories of his area property. Steve claimed he was unaware of the location. "When you heard the name, I thought I saw a spark of recognition," Konstantin remarked. Steve was asked by Konstantin if he was certain he had never been to area. Angry, Steve clarified that although he had seen the world, he could not recall every port. Steve snarled, "But it's none of your damn business, anyway. You have no cause to be upset," Konstantin remarked. John was curious as to what Konstantin had been implying to them. Steve threatened to leave Konstantin again. "You appear shook up," Konstantin remarked. Steve lost it, screaming that Konstantin had cheated on a family friend. Marlena entered the bar. "You must be the renowned Dr. Marlena Evans. I have heard so much about you," Konstantin replied. Marlena responded, "Likewise, but I'm surprised to see you here." Konstantin grinned and said he would take John and Steve's thoughtful request into consideration. Konstantin pondered out loud if he was correct about Steve when he whispered, "I saw the look on your face, Steve Johnson. You know only too well about that precious place on earth, my special area." Marlena questioned John and Steve inside the bar about why Konstantin was still in the city. "He will be gone. Soon. And for good." "You can count on that," stated Steve. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.